Tuna fishing is a highly technical activity that requires extensive experience and thorough preparation in both equipment and personnel. Before heading out to sea, fishermen must carefully prepare specialized gear such as nearshore fishing vessels, GPS navigation systems, fish finders, industrial-grade fishing rods, and most importantly, the right bait. Tuna typically inhabit remote offshore areas with deep waters and abundant food sources, so identifying the location of a tuna school is a crucial first step. Once a school is located, fishermen use either fishing rods or hand lines, paired with strong fishing lines, sharp hooks, and fresh bait to attract the fish. The most common fishing methods are trolling and longline fishing, with longlining being the most effective, as it can catch multiple fish at once using an extended system. Additionally, some boats apply similar techniques to target schools of tuna swimming near the surface. Bringing the tuna aboard requires skill and physical strength, as tuna are powerful swimmers and often struggle fiercely once hooked. After being caught, the fish are immediately stored in onboard freezers to preserve their freshness, ensuring quality for domestic markets or export. Tuna fishing not only provides significant economic benefits, but also improves the livelihoods of coastal fishermen. However, it must be managed responsibly to ensure sustainability and protect marine ecosystems. Beyond technical skills, tuna fishing heavily depends on weather conditions and the seafaring experience of the crew. Each fishing trip can last from several days to several weeks, or even up to a month, demanding patience, determination, and strong teamwork throughout the journey. Veteran sailors often rely on their experience to observe the color of the sea, current directions, and seabird activity to predict the presence of tuna. They must also stay updated on weather forecasts to avoid dangers from storms or tropical depressions. During operations, vessels need to maintain communication with the mainland via radio or satellite systems to ensure safety and receive continuous updates. Once a tuna is brought on board, it is immediately sorted, assessed for quality, and pre-processed to preserve its highest commercial value. For bluefin tuna, the post-catch handling process is even more rigorous, involving steps such as blood draining, rapid chilling, and storage in specialized cold rooms. The entire process of catching, storing, and transporting tuna must comply with strict hygiene and food safety standards, especially when exporting to demanding markets like Japan, the United States, or Europe. Thanks to investments in technology and improved skills, several coastal regions in Vietnam such as Phu Yen, Binh Dinh, and Con Hoa have become major tuna fishing hubs, playing a vital role in the country's seafood export sector. However, alongside the growth of the tuna industry, both regulatory agencies and fishermen need to raise awareness about preserving fishery resources, complying with international regulations, and avoiding destructive fishing practices. This is essential to sustain this valuable traditional livelihood and ensure long-term benefits for future generations. After being brought ashore, tuna also undergoes a sophisticated processing phase to meet both domestic and export market demands. Modern seafood processing facilities sort the fish by size and quality, applying advanced technologies such as deep freezing, vacuum packaging, canning, or filleting to international standards. Processed tuna products can be used for sashimi, sushi, tuna steaks, or canned goods, and are exported to high-value markets. Tuna is not only considered the green gold of the ocean, but also a stable source of income for thousands of coastal fishing families. In many localities, tuna fishing teams are organized as cooperatives, enabling fishermen to share equipment and techniques, support product marketing, reduce risks, and improve economic efficiency. Moreover, national and international organizations have supported fishermen through training programs, the provision of durable boats, modern navigation equipment, and preferential loans to promote the modernization of the fishing industry. However, in the face of climate change and declining fishery resources due to overfishing, the development of tuna fishing must go hand in hand with sustainable management programs. These include planning appropriate fishing zones, restricting catches during spawning seasons, using eco-friendly fishing tools, and strengthening international cooperation to monitor and protect tuna stocks. Only by achieving a balance between exploitation and conservation can the tuna fishing industry develop sustainably and make a lasting contribution to Vietnam's maritime economy. In addition, the role of science and technology in tuna fishing is becoming increasingly important. Many research institutes and universities have implemented technology-based projects to predict fishing grounds, improve fishing gear, and enhance efficiency. Tools such as multi-beam fish finders, satellite positioning systems, and modern communication equipment help fishermen reduce search time, save fuel, and minimize risks at sea. Advanced preservation technologies, such as ultra-fast freezing at -60°C, are also being used to maintain tuna quality as if freshly caught, meeting the stringent demands of international markets. As part of the trend toward global integration and development, many Vietnamese enterprises have boldly invested in the processing sector, building the Vietnamese tuna brand on the world stage. However, in order to compete with countries that have highly developed seafood industries, such as Japan, South Korea, and Spain, Vietnam must not only focus on product quality, but also on establishing a sustainable value chain. This includes every stage from fishing and preservation to processing and distribution, requiring close coordination between fishermen, businesses, government bodies, and research and training institutions. At the same time, raising public awareness about protecting the marine environment and fishery resources is a key factor. A clean, resource-rich ocean provides the foundation for the sustainable development of the tuna industry and other ocean-related sectors. Therefore, tuna fishing is not just a livelihood, it is part of a broader blue economy strategy, reflecting a deep connection between people and the sea, between tradition and modernity, between resource utilization and environmental protection. Moreover, the cultural and spiritual life of fishing communities plays a vital role in sustaining and developing the tuna fishing industry. For many coastal communities, fishing is not just a source of income, it is an inseparable part of their cultural identity. Folk tales, fishing festivals, rituals honoring the sea, and ceremonies held before each voyage reflect fishermen's deep respect and gratitude toward the ocean, along with their hopes for a fruitful season and safe return. Each tuna fishing trip is a grueling journey, where fishermen face towering waves, scorching heat, frigid seawater, and sleepless nights on the vast ocean. But it is in these harsh conditions that their courage, unwavering determination, and extraordinary resilience are forged and clearly revealed. Children growing up in fishing villages become accustomed to the drifting life from an early age, watching the lights of the fishing boats and dreaming of one day setting sail with their fathers and uncles to catch tuna. Although many new professions have emerged, fishing, especially tuna fishing, continues to hold a special place in the hearts of coastal communities. This deep-rooted connection has created generations of experienced fishermen who are always ready to pass on their skills and love for the sea to the next generation. Looking ahead, with the support of national policies that promote the maritime economy, along with the resilience and passion of fishermen, the tuna fishing industry is poised to keep growing, not only delivering economic value, but also preserving and celebrating the traditional pride and cultural heritage of the Vietnamese people in the era of global integration. To achieve comprehensive and sustainable development, the tuna fishing industry must now align itself with green transition trends and the circular economy. This calls for a shift in mindset among fishermen and seafood businesses, from pure exploitation to responsible harvesting, while implementing measures to reduce negative impacts on the marine environment. Some innovative models are already being tested, such as combining fishing with experiential tourism, farming tuna in clean marine environments, or utilizing byproducts like tuna heads, tails, and fins to maximize resources and minimize waste. Moreover, participation in international fishery organizations, such as the Western and Central Pacific Fisheries Commission, WCPFC, not only helps elevate Vietnam's standing in the global tuna industry, but also requires stakeholders to comply with regulations on quotas, fishing zones, and allowable fish sizes. These efforts aim to balance short-term economic gains with the long-term stability of marine ecosystems. In addition, workforce training and human resource development are key factors. Courses on safe vessel operation, post-catch preservation, and modern fishing vessel management are being expanded to improve technical expertise and better prepare fishermen for increasingly severe weather conditions. In the context of globalization, it is essential to equip fishermen with access to international market information, a solid understanding of export standards, and knowledge of clean production technologies. These tools are critical for enhancing the value and global brand of Vietnamese tuna. Ultimately, tuna fishing is not just a means of livelihood. It is also an integral part of Vietnam's national maritime economic development strategy. From the boats braving the waves to the modern processing facilities onshore, every link in the chain plays a role in strengthening Vietnam's seafood industry on the global stage. Only when we learn to harvest tuna in a scientific and sustainable way, combining tradition with innovation and harmonizing human activity with nature, can this fish, a symbol of oceanic strength and prosperity, truly become a valuable resource for Vietnam's long-term growth. With continued advancements in science, technology, and digital transformation, Vietnam's tuna fishing industry will gain more development opportunities if we seize the moment and follow the right strategic direction. One of the key milestones is the adoption of digital technologies in the management and monitoring of fishing activities. Electronic logbooks, e-logbooks, and satellite-based vessel monitoring systems, VMS, not only help trace the origin of seafood, but also serve as effective tools for tracking catch volume, fishing zones, and ensuring compliance with international commitments to protect tuna stocks. In addition, the rise of e-commerce platforms is opening new market opportunities for tuna products, allowing fishermen and businesses to connect directly with consumers, reduce intermediary costs, increase income, and elevate brand value. Moreover, growing international consumer demand for eco-friendly products and transparent sourcing is putting pressure on Vietnam's tuna industry to shift toward more transparent, safe, and environmentally responsible practices. Developing and maintaining international certifications, such as the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC, Sustainability Certification, is no longer optional, but a necessary requirement for Vietnamese tuna to secure a position in premium markets. Businesses, cooperatives, and fishermen who lead the way in achieving these certifications will have a significant competitive advantage on the global stage. More importantly, for the tuna fishing industry to develop sustainably, it requires targeted and effective support from national policies. Programs such as crew member insurance, disaster relief for fishermen, credit incentives for building and upgrading vessels, and investments in fishing port infrastructure and seafood logistics systems will provide a strong foundation to give fishermen the confidence to venture offshore. At the same time, cross-sector collaboration between the fisheries, education, science and technology, and maritime diplomacy sectors will generate a synergistic force that drives both the tuna industry and Vietnam's entire seafood sector towards sustainable development and deeper international integration. In essence, tuna fishing is not just a challenge for fishermen. It is a vital link in the nation's maritime economic strategy. It is a story of labor, culture, technology, and the collective ambition of a nation to reach the open seas. If we can harmoniously blend tradition with modernity, exploitation with conservation, then tuna, this precious gift from the ocean, will continue to be a symbol of pride for the Vietnamese people, reflecting the nation's resilience and dynamism amidst the vast ocean. With its immense potential and recent positive developments, the tuna fishing industry has every opportunity to become a key pillar of Vietnam's blue economy. With proper investment, this sector can help position Vietnam as a leading maritime nation, where ocean resources are utilized sustainably. Tuna fishing carries not only economic significance, but also strategic value, affirming national sovereignty, fostering sustainable development in island and coastal regions, and improving the livelihoods of coastal communities. In Vietnam's central coastal provinces, where tuna fishing has deep roots, this industry should be developed into professional hubs for fishing, processing, and exporting. The creation of seafood industry clusters will connect fishing fleets, ports, processing facilities, and markets, forming a complete value chain that enhances competitiveness and attracts investment into the sector. At the same time, traditional fishing villages can diversify through community-based tourism centered on tuna fishing experiences, helping promote local culture and provide additional income for residents. Furthermore, tuna is also a culinary ambassador for Vietnam on the global stage. Dishes like sashimi, grilled tuna, and braised tuna with pineapple showcase the richness and diversity of this traditional industry and bring Vietnamese seafood culture to the world.